Hi, we are now with Barbara Anderson, Director of the Aware and Prepare Initiative. How are you doing, Barbara?
Good, how are you?
It's good to have you in our show today.
Thank you so much.
So many things to learn about your initiative, and let's start with the mission. What's the mission of it?
Our mission is to create a community partnership to enhance capabilities to prepare for, respond to, and recover from emergencies and disasters in Santa Barbara County.
Excellent. Now, what's the background of it? When did it start?
Our initial needs assessment of emergency preparedness capabilities in Santa Barbara County began in July of 2007, and the initiative officially started in January of 2008.
And why?
I think the need was becoming more apparent over time, not just the number of disasters, but how the response was being handled on the county local level. But the 2005-2006 Santa Barbara Civil Grand Jury reports really highlighted the ill-equipped levels of capability for Santa Barbara County in regards to large-scale and catastrophic emergencies. That really got the attention of Natalie Orfila, who's the chairperson of the Orfila Foundations, and she really thought, in terms of being a good community neighbor, she really needed to do something about it.
Perfect. Now, how do you organize yourselves with so many different areas? Do you have different categories, or?
Yes, we actually have 7 priority theme areas where our focus is on in terms of our granting, but we really highlight a preparedness, response, and recovery in terms of the emergency management phases.
Good. Now, well, let's talk about those. So starting with preparation. What do you want to accomplish here?
I think really the key component is individual and family preparedness as it relates to community preparedness. So it's really getting individuals to know what is it that they need to ensure that they're safe as well as their families are safe. So really key disaster tips include, having an emergency plan for your family, a communications plan, an out-of-state contact, having things like a hand crank radio on hand for emergency public information when all other utilities are out, having flashlight and cash on hand, as well as water and non-perishable foods.
How do you distribute this information?
We actually, on our brochure for the initiative, have the key components of a disaster kit on the back. So every time we're sharing information, we're sharing those really necessary tips, but also local jurisdictions, as well as the operational area, which is the county, have their own public education and awareness campaigns where they're constantly sharing that information. So most residents and neighborhoods are getting that information on a consistent basis.
Now let's talk about responding to an emergency, which is always difficult.
Absolutely.
So who are you working with to this, and what exactly do you cover?
Our partner, our key partner in the initiative, as well as during emergency preparedness and response and recovery efforts, is the Santa Barbara County Office of Emergency Services. So Michael Harris, who's the emergency operations chief, we work very closely with in terms of planning, preparation, as well as during response. He's allowed us the opportunity to be in the emergency operations center and really see those operations firsthand, which gives us the understanding of where our investment's going, where the gaps still remain, and what we've done to really enhance capabilities.
Let's talk about recovery, which is one of the most difficult parts, I think, with any disaster situations, because it really hits not only individuals but the community.
Absolutely.
So how do you approach this matter?
Well, the T fire was the most significant in terms of long-term recovery efforts because it's a federally declared disaster and there were so many homes that were lost. So that recovery effort will be for years and years. And it's not until those homes are built back up and all of the documentation for the federal government has been completed that really can be closed as an incident. So it's helping the community, getting residents back on track, having the collaboration of the philanthropic communities together to have that financial support, but it's also making sure that the burden of long-term recovery isn't only on one entity, that everyone's really sharing that burden and working together over a long period of time.
And you already mentioned the T-Fire, but I was wondering if there is any other situation that has happened that the Aware and Prepare initiative has worked with.
Well, I think over time, the number of disasters that we've had just since when the initiative has started, which began with the Zaca fire and now the La Brea fire that we most recently had, it really has been a process of learning from each incident and trying to get better for the next one. So during the Zaca fire, emergency public information and alert notification was highlighted as really being important. So then the next fire, we made sure that residents had the information available to them, that the communication was consistent and regular. Still, there's issues with that, but we're getting better over time. The activation of a joint information center, which allows information to be coordinated, has now happened. Protocols and procedures are being put in place, which helps that information get out quicker. So over a period of time, each incident actually has really led a different effort in terms of gaps and addressing those gaps.
Excellent. That's good for our community. Well needed.
Absolutely.
Now, how do you get funded to organize all this?
Well, the Orfalea Foundations is really leading the effort in terms of the philanthropic collaboration, but it's all of the local foundations in Santa Barbara County that are contributing financially to this effort. So nationwide, we're getting attention because of this collaboration with the philanthropic communities. So the Santa Barbara Foundation, the Wood Clasons Foundation, Outhwaite Charitable Trust, Fund for Santa Barbara, they all have come together in a really profound way to support this effort.
Good. And if individuals would like to participate, how can they get involved?
Well, individuals can contact the Orfalea Foundations. We have a website, so orfaleafoundations.org, and then you'll see a link to the initiatives here, and Aware and Prepare is one of those initiatives, and then there's contact information on that website to contact myself or other staff here.
Well, Barbara, thank you for all that information, and I wish the best for you and your initiative.
Thank you so much.
For more information on the Nonprofit Spotlight, check our website at www.sbchannels.tv.